Hello everyone, in this video, I am going to show you a match between me and chess.com maximum elo engine Komodo. I've played a lot of games with top chess engines like Stockfish and elo Chess 0, but this is the first time where I made a draw against 3000 plus rated engine. So let's get into the match and see what happened in the game. I had the white pieces and as usual, I started the game with d4 with the idea to play Queen's Gambit opening. So after d4 and knight f6, black wants to play King's Indian defense. I played c4, and after d6, knight c3, bishop f5, knight f3. This is known as the old Indian defense, Yanovsky variation. After g6 I played queen b3. As you know, whenever this bishop is out here, one of the main line in Queen Gambit is queen b3 hitting the b7 pawn. At this position, Komodo played b6, which I felt like a kind of human move and not an engine move, as we know queen c8 is a very popular move in this position to defend the b7 pawn. What's wrong with b6 is, it creates weakness on light squares in the long diagonal. So at this moment I thought for few seconds and decided to finish development by fianchettoing the light square bishop on this diagonal. After castle, castle. Now I was thinking for a while that what should I play here? If I play d5 then knight will jump to a5 hitting my queen. If I play bishop f4 or g5 then that bishop can be immediately kicked by black pawns. So I decided to play knight h4 attacking the black's light square bishop and opening up the long diagonal for my bishop. But Stockfish is not happy with my move. Stockfish says that queen a4 is the best move in this position because after queen a4 and let's say knight a5 and after knight d2 we are about to trap the a5 knight with b4. And if black plays something like c5 to save the knight and we'll take the rook and we will be exchange up. But after knight h4 bishop d7. I played e3, which Stockfish thinks is a bad move as not only it's a passive move but it also blocks the dark square bishop. But my idea was to keep the pawns connected and later maybe I will put my bishop on b2 diagonal. Komodo played a6 and again Stockfish is not happy as Stockfish wants black to play knight a5 attacking the queen, and after queen c2 or d1 black can go rook b8 and still keep pressure on white's c4 pawn. Here I saw that knight a5 is coming, so I drop my queen back on c2 and not on d1, as like in the English opening the queen on c2 possesses good diagonal. Now Komodo played e5 trying to strike the center, but again it is a kind of human and not engine move because Stockfish wants black to play rook b8 first, getting rid of the bishop pin, and then play knight b4 and c5. But anyway, I just captured the pawn and here Komodo played the savage move. Knight takes c5. I literally thought that it is a blunder. I mean, why the hell you capture the pawn with your knight and blunder your rook? I was thinking that should I just protect my pawn or should I capture the rook? In the game I captured the rook, but let's say what Stockfish has to say about b3. Okay, so Stockfish thinks it's an alternative best move. Anyways, let's go back to the game. After bishop takes rook, queen takes bishop. You can see that b3 is the most realistic move to protect our c4 pawn, but no. I have been demolished many times by elo Chess 0 mating me with the move queen h1 with the bishop as battery. So I calculated that after b3 if he plays knight f3 check then I am almost forced to take his knight, and after he will take back my knight with queen then bishop c6 and there will be forced mate or I will have to lose a piece. So in order to block the queen diagonal I played e4. Then he collected my c4 pawn and I kicked this dude with b3. Also with the idea to put my bishop on b2 diagonal. After knight back to e5, I played f3, even though my pawn on e4 was protected twice, but I just wanted to completely shut down this diagonal. Komodo played bishop h3 and I played rook e1. The accurate move was rook f2. Anyways, Komodo played h6, I played bishop b2 and then he goes queen c6. In this position, to be honest, Komodo knights were looking scary to me, so I played f4 to kick out one of his knights. I mean, knight f3 isn't a fork as this square is protected by my knight, but still I'm a human and I will only play what I will feel most appropriate. Wow, f4 was the best move anyway, after queen c5 check, king h1 and knight g4. Here the real test begins. If you play any random move like, let's say, rook d1 or c1 in this position, then after knight f2 check, king g1, knight takes e4 pawn and discover check after king h1, knight f2 check, king g1 again, knight d3 discovered check, and then the knight comes to g4 and black will be completely winning. It would be just like my other match with Stockfish, where Stockfish destroyed me by making 3 brilliant moves. So in this position, I must defend f2 square, so I played rook e2. Komodo played rook e8 and I doubled up the rook and he took my e4 pawn with his knight. So after I capture his knight back, queen takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop and d5. In this position, I thought if I go rook e2 then I can collect a pawn for the knight, but I saw that it will allow black a fork. So I thought of playing knight f6 check, then after knight takes knight, rook takes rook, knight takes rook, but then I thought, okay, let him capture the knight, I'll just improve the position of my other knight, and I played knight g2. Komodo then played f5 and I thought that if I leave my knight now then he will get connected, for on king side also his bishop and knight together have restricted my king mobility. So I went for knight f6 check, knight takes knight, rook takes rook, knight takes rook. Here I played a3, with idea to play b4 next move and put all my pawns on the dark square, but it's a blunder and I don't know why. Komodo played king f7, also a blunder. Maybe Stockfish thinks that in the endgame correct move order is very important, and Stockfish wanted black to play knight d6 first so the knight can jump to e4 in the next move and become a monster knight. After b4, Komodo captured my knight and that was good for me because it helped my king to become active. After knight d6, king f2, king e6, king e2, knight e4, king e3, king d6. Now the most surprising moment of the game happened, starting with knight c3, king d3, knight e4, king e3, knight c3, king d3, and knight e4. Draw by repetition. I had never expected this repetition. I mean, black is down an exchange but he has 2 extra pawns, so he has enough compensation, but on the other hand, if this position is played accurately it's a draw, but then also there are many ways for white to lose the game. Anyways, I was happy with a draw and I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to the knight so I can put more interesting chess content on this channel. Goodbye.